Good morning, Rudraksh and Navya. Good morning, both of you. So now let me discuss something about my mother is 66. So as you can see here, I can expand it a little bit. Okay, as you can see, the introduction. Let me read quickly. The poem drives home the fact that aging is a natural process and we have no sway or control over it. Okay, so that is what is the message given by the writer. Okay, even though we become emotional, even though we become carried away uh, because our parents are getting old and like they might leave us anytime, we become very much emotional. The writer, the poet gives us a message that aging is a natural process and we've got to come to terms with this pungent reality. We've got to we've got to come to terms with this reality that aging is a natural process. Okay, like aging, death is also inevitable. As aging is inevitable, that is a must. Likewise, death is also a must. Okay, we should come to terms with this hardcore fact of life. If we fail to negotiate with this universal process of aging and mortality, we shall end up being in despair. That is the message, actually. Okay, we must come to terms with the pungent reality or the bitter reality of the inevitable process of aging and mortality. Okay, it is aging is something which we cannot stop, and mortality is also something that we cannot stop. Mortality means human beings have to die one day or the other. Okay, so if we fail to negotiate with this pungent reality of the inevitable process of aging and mortality, then we shall end up in despair. Therefore, the poet gives us the message that we need to come to terms with the hardcore reality of the inevitable fact of aging and mortality. The writer in this poem is so obsessed with her mother that she has become totally blind to the fact of inevitability of aging and death. Okay, so the writer has become very much obsessed with her mother that she has become totally blind to the fact of inevitability of aging and death. Okay, she has become blind because of her emotion. Her emotion is overriding uh, her rational quality or rational power. Okay, her power of thinking, power of logical thinking, because her emotion, her obsession for her mother has blinded her so much so that she has taken leave of all her logic, all her wisdom. Okay, so due to her possessiveness for her mother since her childhood, she developed subdued fear and consequent pain in her mind that one day she would have to part with her mother. Okay, so she developed a kind of a subdued fear. Subdued fear means fear that is there inside us, underlying fear. So, since her childhood, she was very much attached to her mom, as a result of which she has become very much obsessed with her. That is why she has developed kind of underlying tension in her mind, underlying pain in her mind, underlying fear in her mind that one day she would have to part with her mother. Like the woman in the poem Mirror, the poet is unable to digest the fact of aging and death. Okay, so there was a poem in class 10, which is The Mirror. In that poem, also in the previous syllabus, not in this syllabus, it was in English communicative course. There was a poem called Mirrored in class 10, where the same thing happened. Another woman was there in the poem, and she was very much conscious of her beauty. She was very much conscious of her looks. As a result, what happened? She became extra possessive about her beauty. But when she became old, he was trying to she was getting old and she was developing wrinkles on her face. She became so sad. She became disappointed. Why? Because she could not come to terms with the post process that she was growing old. She could develop wrinkles on her face. Her skins might fold, okay, with the process of aging. In the process of aging, that is what she could not sort of negotiate, as a result of which she was having a lot of pain in her heart. So likewise, in this poem also, the daughter is not able to sort of come to terms with the inevitable process of aging and death, because she has been so very much possessive of her mom since her childhood. Okay, so therefore is the comparison between the lady, the woman in mirror, in the poem mirror, as well as the daughter in this poem My Mother at 66. Okay, from a personal pain and agony, the poem transcends into a universal problem of pain at separation from our beloved ones. Okay, so it is not only a personal pain and agony; it is also an universal. It is also an universal pain at separation from our beloved ones. It could be our family members, it could be our relatives, it could be our friends. Okay, there is a pain, of course, pain of separation. As long as we are human beings, as long as there is emotion, there is obsession, there is passion, these things will always remain, okay, with us. If we uh, get parted from our near and dear ones, we become unhappy, we become sad. This will always be there, because as human beings, we have emotion, we have passion, we have grief, okay, we have laughter, we have happiness, everything. Therefore, this problem of being sad at the separation from our near and dear one is a universal problem. Actually, it is there in every country, it is there in each and every society, in each and every culture. That is why, from this personal pain and agony, this poem transcends us into universal problem of pain at separation from our beloved ones. This inevitable pain at separation is fairly universal in nature, hence justified at all layers of human relationship. Okay, at all layers of human relationship, this pain is justified. Why? Because be it a husband-wife relationship, be it a father-mother relationship, be it a father-daughter relationship, mother-son relationship, uh, friends, okay, friendship, you know, it could be any kind of human relationship. This inevitable pain at separation by means of physical boundaries, or by means of, you can say, by means of death, or a kind of separation, you can say all kinds of separation, by means of death also, by means of geographical location also, by means of differences of opinion also, by any kind of separation has got like has mm, the pain involved with each one of us. Therefore, this particular personal pain at the thought of being separated from her mom at certain point or the other in future is a quite natural process, and this has become universal because it is felt by everyone all across the globe. Whenever our near and dear ones become separated from us, we become absolutely unhappy. Okay, so that is what the writer wanted to highlight in this poem. Thank you. Good morning, Rudraksh, Aman, Sakshi, Sahil. So we're discussing about my mother at 66. Okay, at 66. So this is a very universal poem. Why it is universal poem? I was discussing why is it universal poem. It has become universal poem because from a personal pain and agony, the poem has transcended into universal problem of pain at separation from our beloved ones. Okay, we feel absolutely disappointed, grieved when we are separated from one near and dear one. So apparently in this poem it's a personal pain, but from this personal pain it has transcended into a universal problem of pain at being separated from one near and dear one. So that is what is the main theme of the poem, and the poet wants us to be to be realistic and come to terms with the pungent reality of inevitable death, separation and death. Okay, that is something, the inevitable process of aging and death. This particular fact is something what the poet wants us to come to terms with. Okay, every human being must console himself or herself. Every human being must sort of understand that the process of aging and the process of death is something which is inevitable, means which comes to everyone's life. Okay, if we cannot come to terms with this pungent or bitter reality of inevitable process of aging and death, then we shall end up in despair. Therefore, we shall have to realize that it is something which nobody can avoid. The process of aging, no one can avoid. It will come to us with the passing of our age. So we should be ready to also bear any kind of consequent transformation in our human relationship. Okay, because like our near and dear ones are not always with us. They are with us for a few days only. Okay, so the process of aging, then the natural process of death is something takes which takes them away from us. Okay, so anyway, now let's go through the text of the poem. As you can see here, glossary is given. So first of all, let's go through the text here. I've opened here, I suppose, here. Okay, so see, driving from my parents' home to coaching last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes, but after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, one pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. So you see, there is no stop here. Okay, it's a single sentence poem. You can see such a long sentence. You can see here it started from here and there is no full stop in between. It goes straight away, up to the last line, and then there is a, I mean, stop. Otherwise, everything else is separated by comma. Okay, so let's try to understand. So the poet was driving with her mom, okay, from uh, her parents' home to Cochin airport. Okay, and then inside the vehicle, she could notice that her mom was sitting open-mouthed in the. Okay, now you see, and then what happened? Um, and realized with pain, and then the poet could realize with a lot of pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away, uh, because she felt very disappointed. Her mom has grown old and she has become absolutely old now. Her skin has become folded, there are wrinkles on her face. So, but she's immediately put that thought away because that thought would give her further pain and make her more sad. That is why she has put that thought away for some time and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. Okay, it means here you can see there is a contrast between what is inside the vehicle and what is outside the vehicle. As you can see here, inside the vehicle is so dull, it's so pungent, it's so pale, it's so sad, ambience inside the car. Whereas outside the car, um, like there are young trees which are sprinting, merry children spilling out of their homes. Okay, young trees full of life, vibrant and cheerful. Merry means cheerful children are also coming out of their homes and playing. So it's a total contrast that the poet has shown here. Total contrast inside the vehicle and outside the vehicle. So, in order to show a total contrast, the poet has compared the situation inside the vehicle with situation outside the vehicle. Outside the vehicle, it's very much lively, sprinting, cheerful, active. Whereas inside the vehicle, it's the other way around. Okay, it's completely the opposite of what is happening outside. Okay, so that contrast has been given, mentioned by the poet, so as to sort of intensify the ambience which is inside the vehicle. Okay, so now we can see some of the things here. Explanation you can see here. Her face ashen like that of a corpse means the face of her mother is pale and dull like that of a corpse. Corpse means dead body. Okay, like the face of a dead body appears to be very pale and dull. Likewise, her mom's face was also pale and dull. Okay, then young trees sprinting. When the vehicle is moving, the young trees appear to be racing behind. Sprinting means you might have also experienced when you are inside the vehicle and you look at nature and trees and all. Then they also appear to be moving. Okay, fast like the vehicle. So the merry children spilling out of their homes. Merry here means cheerful. Spilling means rushing out. So cheerful children are rushing out of their homes to participate in their games. Okay, now let us continue. But after the airport security check, because after the airport security check, one has to be separate from the other. Okay, even before the security check also she has to be uh, like she has to be sort of away from each other, standing at a few years. Okay, because only the passengers only the passengers uh, are allowed to enter in that zone. Therefore the daughter had to stand a few years away from her mom. I looked again at her. Okay, from a distance again, the poetess was looking at her mom. One pale, dull and pale face, her dull and pale face, which here appeared to be like the face or the appearance of late winter's moon. Okay, now the dull and pale appearance of her mom has been compared with the help of a simile here and compared with the late winter's moon. Okay, and felt that old familiar ache, and then after that she realized she felt that old familiar pain. What is the old familiar pain? That is her childhood's fear. So we shall discuss about this, but before that, let's go through this. As a late winter's moon refers to here, the poet means that her mother's colorless face appeared like that of a late winter's moon. Okay, like late winter's moon is dull and pale. Likewise, the face of the poetess mother is also colorless. Okay, that old familiar ache here refers to the old familiar pain, the poet's childhood fear that her mother would die one day. Okay, what is the old familiar fear, old familiar pain that is her childhood's fear all about? It is regarding her mom, regarding her mother. But all I was said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. But she did not let her mom realize that she was feeling very sad inside, or she was grieving for the separation. She did not show it to her mom. That is why she has put on an artificial smile on her face and just waved her, smiling and smiling and smiling. But the poet from inside was getting very, very sad, and she became absolutely grieved because her childhood fear has surfaced. Her childhood fear has surfaced in her mind once again. What is her childhood fear? Her childhood fear here refers to the fact that she had to part with her mom one day or the other. Okay, so that was her childhood fear. Why did that fear develop in the childhood? Because since childhood she was extra possessive about her mom, and extra possession about her mom, or of her mom, has made her become too much obsessive about her mom, and that is when, or that is why, she has become absolutely, concerned about her mom. She cannot bear the fact that she cannot bear the fact that she has to uh, be separated from her mom one day or the other. So that is why the poet says that we need to come to terms with this pungent or bitter reality of life, that the inevitable, or a must the inevitable process of aging and death will certainly take place in our society. It We cannot get rid of these two. One is aging process, another is death. So the sooner we come to terms with these two inevitable process, natural process, one is death, another is aging, we cannot get happiness inside. Therefore, it is better we should come to terms with this reality sooner. Okay, so that we do not feel restless, and we do not feel grieved. Okay, so dear students, you see I've given here some questions also. Please go through these questions. Okay, and this poem is very simple. Just you go through some of the literary devices like metaphor, simile, all these which the poet has mentioned. Imagery also, like the trees printing is an imagery actually. Many children spilling out of their homes. Okay, these are imagery actually. Images, the poet makes mention of the images so as to give pictorial, pictorial touch to the description of his literary work. It could be a prose, it could be a poem, whatever. Okay, so imagery is also used for this reason, so as to give pictorial uh, you know touch to his or her poem or any literary work. Okay, so dear students, that's all about our lecture today. um, Sakshi, are you still there? Those who are still there with me, please write down yes. Just write down yes, so that I have to ask you some important question after that. So please register your presence. Sakshi, Aman, thank you. uh, Aman, thank you. What about Rudraksh and Sakshi? Sahil, thank you so much. Sahil is there. Sahil is there. Uh, and then Sakshi, are you there? Dear students, I'm thinking of taking the class sometimes on Zoom platform. Okay, so that I can also interact with you. Voice interaction can take place through these platforms. Okay, either Google, this Meet or Zoom platform. Understood? So. Uh, I might go for this, like alternately. Uh, yeah, Aman, Google Meet. Yeah, that's true. Google Meet has no time limit. That is why it is better. Mm, yeah, Google Meet is better. So, okay, Aman, Sahil, Rudraksh, and Sakshi. Which particular topic you want me to teach, or the next poem I should teach? Next poem, that is, I think I should teach the next poem, revise the next poem once again, no? What is that called? Elementary school classroom. Okay, so next day's lesson will be elementary school classroom. Once again I should revise line by line. It will take 2 days, and then let me finish all the poems first, and then I shall take your opinion regarding which lesson I should go ahead with. And we have plenty of time before the board exam takes place, so just study leisurely, but be in touch. Okay, on a regular basis, English, computers, and PE you study at least every alternately. Okay, that is what I recommend you. Make a proper timetable, and at least for 40 minutes also, if you study English, if you study PE and computers, I think that will help you to accelerate your score in those three subjects. Okay, you study your core subjects PCM every day. Okay, but at least 30 minutes or 40 minutes each for PE, computers, and English, if you can keep aside, I think your scores in these three subjects would certainly accelerate in board examination. What I mean to say is that do not go out of the touch with these three subjects. Okay, apart from what I am teaching you in live class, you also go through the question answers, and please go through the text lessons also, because nowadays you might have seen in the Sunday's test, the pattern has changed now. All 40 out of 80 marks, are MCQ. Therefore, you need to go through each and every line, each and every sentence of the textbook minutely, so that you don't miss out any of the questions for multiple choice question, multiple choice. Okay, from multiple choice, because multiple choice questions are 50% of your total weightage. Understood? So please go through each and every story, because poems I'm going through each and every line, but prose lessons you please go through each and every line, and mark out those lines which you think you are not able to understand, so that in my revision class I can discuss with you those important or those difficult sentences or those difficult paragraphs. Okay, so please do the homework for me and let me know one day before, so that I make notes about those lessons. I make explanation in writing and present in front of you. So at least one day ahead, if you can inform me, I think I'll be able to make notes for you. So please start going through each line word for word, and let me know if you have any problem. And on live classes, I shall keep revising the poems, okay, for you, line by line. Okay, thank you, dear students. Thanks for your presence. Bye bye, take care.